My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Obama administration secretly helped Iran skirt financial sanctions. It's all over the news now. And it's very, very important to look at the Obama administration and the Obama years realistically. The media did not scrutinize President Obama the way they scrutinized, the way they're attacking every single day Trump. In large part because it is true, in the beginning of President Obama's administration, he had to undergo racist or unfair treatment by Republicans. So he survived that, and that was, in a very noble way, Obama did survive some racism and some dirty or underhanded attacks from Republicans. Then the media, because he was able to survive politically those types of attacks from the GOP, the media gave President Obama a free pass on almost everything, especially the Clinton email investigation, especially Bernie Sanders being cheated, and especially his signature achievements. For example, the Obama administration secretly helped Iran skirt financial sanctions. That's one reason why nobody cared that, military bases were off limits, which is absolutely absurd, and it's completely irrelevant whether or not the nuclear regulatory body didn't care about nuclear bases. If you are engaging in a nuclear program, you then take your program to military bases. And you wouldn't have to just simply look at all, investigate the entire base. You would simply go to the base, see if there are radiation levels that correspond with a nuclear program, and you wouldn't have to, snoop too much or investigate too much or go into areas that are classified. That's obvious. You could simply find out if a nuclear program is taking place on a military base by the radiation levels. But aside from that, radiation levels in the soil, whatever, water, but aside from that, then there's the issue of 23 or 22 ballistic missile tests. Then there's the issue of, right here, Obama administration secretly helped Iran skirt financial sanctions. It's all over the news. This is a National Review article. And could you imagine if Trump allowed a country to skirt economic sanctions? Let's say Trump, and they're still, what they're doing now with Trump and South Korea and North Korea, they're telling Trump, Democrats have the audacity to write this letter saying, don't accept anything short of complete denuclearization. Really? And Obama allowed military bases and ballistic missile tests. So military bases were off limits, and they were 23. They tested 23 ballistic missiles. So by Obama administration standards, North Korea could still test its ballistic missiles and have its military sites completely off limits to nuclear investigators, nuclear regulators, and it would be okay. So this is what we're dealing with. But I'll read you. Obama administration secretly helped Iran skirt financial sanctions. The Obama administration helped Iran utilize sanctioned oil revenue stranded in a foreign bank account in 2016 while actively misleading Congress about the cooperation, according to the results of a Republican-led Senate investigation released Wednesday night. After signing the 2015 nuclear deal, which unfroze Iran's U.S. accounts in exchange for the regime's non-proliferation pledge, the Obama administration publicly maintained that all non-nuclear sanctions barring Iran from operating within the U.S. financial system would remain in place. Despite the pledge to the public and Congress, in February 2016, the administration assisted Tehran in recovering $5.7 billion held in the Bank Muscat in the Persian Gulf state of Oman, according to the report. It's just a $5.6 billion. And this is the thing also. I love the Iranian people and the Persian people. I do. Very much so, actually. The Iranian people and the Persian people, great. I love them. And the government, a little different story, but the government of Iran, you talk about my personal view about nuclear weapons. Kenneth Waltz is a world-renowned political theorist. And let's see. Okay, Kenneth Waltz. So Kenneth Waltz, the spread of nuclear weapons, more may be better. That's just, and so he's written a whole bunch of articles and amazing books. The Spread of Nuclear Weapons is one book, An Enduring Debate, and his vantage point is that nuclear weapons have kept the world from another world war, which sadly I think is very true. I think that we would have fought the Soviet Union from a conventional sense were it not for nuclear weapons. Anyway, so from that perspective, I'm not really... A nuclear weapon is a defensive tool, or a defensive weapon. It's not an offensive weapon. But getting away from that, the political theory, Obama wanted to curb or prevent Iran from... The stated goal was to prevent Iran from a nuclear program. It's obvious they have a nuclear program. Whether or not... And I don't think... And you know I'm a supporter of Israel, but I think that Netanyahu is wrong in terms of viewing Iran as an existential threat. Iran is not an existential threat to either Israel or the United States of America or anyone. So if Iran got the bomb, or if Iran eventually had a nuclear weapon, I don't think that... There are people who say, oh, well, the mullahs there would use it as an offensive weapon. I don't think that you find in every regime, no matter how tyrannical or theocratic, the most wealthy, and it really doesn't matter the religion, the ethnicity, whatever, the most wealthy don't want to give up their wealth. It really doesn't matter. So you're going to be giving up your wealth by using a nuclear bomb as an offensive threat. So anyway, 5.7 billion. So just like Clinton, 1.2 billion. By the way, there was we can go on forever. Despite his pledge, senior U.S. government officials repeatedly testified to Congress that Iranian access to the U.S. financial system was not on the table or part of any deal. However, despite this pledge to the public and Congress in February 2016, the administration assisted Tehran in recovering $5.7 billion held in a bank in the Persian state of Oman, according to the report compiled by the Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations. And according to the report, administration officials continued to mislead Congress after the license was issued. Even after the specific license was issued, U.S. government officials maintained in congressional testimony that Iran would not be granted access to the U.S. financial system. See, there's so many lies told by Obama, so many lies. I didn't know of the server. That's a big lie. Clinton is qualified. That's probably the biggest lie. Under the terms of the nuclear deal, Iran was entitled to access the funds which were held in Oman, a currency that is notoriously difficult to convert. The Obama administration attempted to help the Iranians convert the funds to euros by issuing a special treasury license to two large U.S. banks. According to the report, the Obama administration's plan ultimately proved unsuccessful, but in undertaking the effort without informing Congress, officials, quote, misled the American people by saying that Iran was not going to be granted access to the U.S. financial system. So under the terms of the deal, Iran was entitled to access the funds, but not with U.S. help. So it's always, oh, well, it's not really that bad. Then why did you lie? Access to the American financial system, quote, is the crown jewel with all these countries, all these countries would love, yet our government offered it, while at the same time telling the American people they weren't offering it. So why lie about it? That's the issue here. If it's not, the rebuttal is going to be, oh, it's not that big of a deal. They had the right to the money, and then why lie about it? Don't make the rebuttal it's not that big of a deal if you have to lie about it. That's the whole thing. Oh, well, Clinton, it's not a big deal. Well, then why didn't Obama know of Clinton's email server? Let's just see if Vox this is a Vox article. Okay. Senate Republicans claim that Obama secretly helped Iran get around U.S. sanctions. Let's just Senate. Okay. Did the Obama administration lie about helping Iran? Please make this in Vox's fantastic way. What makes this revelation worse, Republican lawmakers say, is that the Obama administration may have at best misled and at worst deliberately lied. At best misled. I love this so much. Could you imagine if Trump had done this? A Vox article. At best misled. The best case scenario is that you misled. So imagine like your wife catches you. Like I always say, I use this analogy. Your wife catches you with lipstick on your collar. I'm gonna you mislead, but you don't lie. If you mislead her, it's better. This lipstick, this was find some way to mislead you. That lipstick on my collar was actually a fashion statement from the designer of the shirt, and it's woven into the shirt. I'm going to mislead you. I'm not going to lie. With Vox and with... Okay, let's just continue. About granting Iran limited access. I love this. Limited access to the U.S. financial system. Not just access. If there was access, it would have been limited, and it could have been misled and not lied. Okay, let's just continue. The Obama administration misled the American people and Congress because they were desperate to get a deal with Iran, Senator Rob Portman, the subcommittee's chair, which is true. Here's why Portman and others make that claim. In Wednesday's report, they note statements from the top Obama officials saying that this type of action wasn't a possibility. Iran, quote, will continue to be denied access to the U.S. financial and commercial market. Then Treasury Secretary Jack Lew told Senate Foreign Relations Committee in July 2015. And Adam Subin, a top Treasury official under Obama, said to the Senate Banking Committee later that month, quote, Iranian banks will not be able to clear U.S. dollars through New York, hold correspondent account relationships with U.S. financial institutions, or enter into financial arrangements with U.S. banks. It's still unclear if there was a coordinated effort to keep this specific license hidden from Congress. With the coordinated effort, if it's not, could you imagine if it was Trump? There's not even a coordinated effort to collude with Russia. There's zero evidence, yet Vox is like, you just wait. Oh my God. Natalia Veselnitskaya. Oh my God. But clearly the Obama administration covertly did more to help Iran than previously known. Thank the Lord. Even Vox can't spin inside Obama's plot to let Iran skirt sanctions. Now the New York Post. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so let's go ahead, put that below. So, why lie to the American people? That's the question. I mean, that's the real question. If it's not a big deal, if it's not a big deal, or if it's just above board, if it's okay, why lie? And furthermore, what would Democrats say if it was Trump? They would say he's a dictator, he's a tyrant, he's a dictator, he's a tyrant. Oh my God, he didn't ask Congress. You already have John Brennan spying on the Senate. You already have James Clapper utilizing the NSA to spy on Americans, lying under oath, both of them. Washington, the Obama administration secretly sought to give Iran access, albeit briefly, to the U.S. financial system by sidestepping, albeit briefly, I love that, even the New York Post, to the U.S. financial system by sidestepping sanctions kept in place after the 2015 nuclear deal, despite repeatedly telling Congress and the public it had no plans to do so. How many more lies can the Obama administration tell and not get held accountable? At least now, and this had nothing to do with investigative reporting. This is a Republican investigation that said, hey, look what we found. Give me your thoughts below. It's just unbelievable. I mean, and they're like, oh my God, Trump, he's no longer a part of the Iran deal. Oh. I love how people confuse that with militarism. That's not militarism. If it's a bad deal, it's a bad deal. And that the $6 billion, the $5.7 billion that President Obama just lied about to Iran, or for Iran to access through U.S. dollars or the U.S. financial system, that's not even the biggest issue. I'd rather them have, if the goal is to have them stop a nuclear program, I'd rather them have the $6 billion than 23 ballistic missile tests, or having military sites that are completely off, off limits. The regulatory bodies don't want to seem partisan. That's why they're like, well, we're not going to go to the military sites. That's stupid. If Trump signs the same deal with North Korea, no military sites, regulators aren't allowed on military sites, or they can still, especially the ballistic missile program. Because, when there were tensions early on in Trump's administration, every North Korean missile test was, oh my God, look at the ballistic missile test. Look at the missile test. Apparently with Iran, 23, no problem. It's all good. But give me your thoughts below. It's one of many lies within Obama's administration. Definitely also check out, well, first of all, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We are growing. We're approaching 120,000. Let's get to 120,000. Also, check out my HA Second Amendment channel. Sig Sauer P220 45 ACP. That's the latest, in addition to the Glock 17, the segment before that one. My Patreon is below for this channel. Definitely hit subscribe. Give me your thoughts on the latest revelation. Thank you so much for listening.